Join Jared Latigo, Camille Bransom, and Taylor Perkey for episode 3 of the Cultivate Podcast with special guest Michelle Colling of Hotworx. Now for your hosts, Jared and Camille.
Drug it out that time.
I just love this. Yeah.
Welcome to the Cultivate Podcast. I am Jared Latigo. This is Camille over here. And thank you so much, Michelle, for coming on.
I'm so excited. We're excited to have you.
Today we're going to talk about health and wellness. We're going to talk about this hot sauna thing that, I'm still wrapping my head around why anyone would go through a hot sauna, to be honest with you. But it's making an impact on me. I'm starting to understand a little bit about it. So I want to hear more. And we, of course, love the idea of the health and wellness in our business and in our life, because that is something that I think is incredibly important for a business owner to understand the balance of that, right? And so you operate a lot of the physical, but we've even talked about, one of the things we share on the podcast is pies, and we love pies, right? So physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual. These are the 4 buckets that this podcast basically operates out of. And you mentioned before the show, there's, the sauna actually really hits a lot of those.
We do. We kind of dip into all 4 of those buckets. Really cool. Obviously, the physical is our biggest bucket, but we integrate the others along with it. Anytime you feed your physical self, you're feeding your spiritual, your emotional, and your intellectual self as well. Yeah,
absolutely. So we're going to hear a little bit about that. Now, y'all are opening in March, roughly.
Fingers crossed.
Okay. Yeah. So we're about 5-6 weeks out, something like that, roughly. And so we'll hear a little bit about that later. But first, I want to go ahead and start off. Tell us what is a hot sauna. Give us a little bit of background on Hotworx and what this is.
Right. So a hot sauna is just that, a hot sauna. We're not a hot sauna workout. We're an infrared sauna workout. Okay. It's a very different form of heat. A hot sauna uses hot air. An infrared sauna uses infrared energy. So the difference in the two is heat heats your skin, and it doesn't travel terribly deep. Infrared doesn't heat your skin. It actually penetrates the surface of the skin, and it goes straight to the muscle. So when we heat muscle, we are burning fat, and you store toxins in your fat. So we're getting a really, really deep detox in addition to your workout at the same time. So the air in an infrared sauna is not technically hot. Now, don't get me wrong. Okay. It's hot. Our ideal is 120 to 125. Now, the saunas can be moderated up or down. We recommend 120 to 125. To get the full benefit of the infrared, the detox, and the calorie burn, you don't want to go above 125. To get the full benefit of the infrared, 110 to 120 is full benefit of infrared. Maximum calorie burn, maximum detox happens in that 120 to 125 range. So you walk into that sauna, you slide the door closed, and you immediately start to sweat, in all honesty. But it's a very different sweat because, again, your skin is not hot. So you don't ever have that Texas on an August day kind of almost suffocation feel. It's very clean. It's actually comforting.
Okay, so is this the thing, when you go to Arizona, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's like, yeah, but it's a dry heat. I'm like, wait a minute.
Okay, well, heat is heat. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Heat is heat, but there are varying comfort levels of heat. So if you are in your car and it's freezing cold, right, and you turn the heater on and it's blowing on you, for about 2.5 seconds, for me, it feels wonderful. But then it really kind of starts to be in my face and it takes my breath away. And so it's no longer a comforting heat. It's kind of an uncomfortable, almost like I need to get away from it heat. Okay. We never really have that kind of feel to us because the air isn't hot.
Gotcha.
When you heat with infrared energy, it's going to heat the mass around it, not the air around it. Does that make sense? It's very hard to really kind of explain until you experience it. The only way that I have figured out how to share it, my husband likes to share, it's Arizona versus Houston, and there is a lot of truth to that. Yeah. But the thing for me is, and I'm always cold unless I'm in a sauna. So, if you've been in a building somewhere, your house, the office, whatever it is, and you walk outside and this glorious little ray of sunshine hits you and you're like, oh, that feels so good. That's infrared energy. Okay. That's what you feel in the sauna. So it really does have this very comforting, enveloping feel to it.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it's very therapeutic.
It is incredibly therapeutic. It's very energizing and relaxing at the same time.
Cool. Okay. So if someone is, we'll get to the business stuff in just a second. We're going to address, I want to address like a personal thing, right? So if someone's dealing with issues, maybe it's muscle issues, or maybe it's like a chronic thing, right? Is that kind of like a benefit? Like, would that help that type of stuff, or how does that work?
Yes. Okay. First of all, we're all dealing with some kind of issue on a daily basis. So whether it's a physical issue, an emotional issue, a physical issue that's creating an emotional issue, we're all walking around with something. And so when you go into an infrared sauna, so the wellness aspect of infrared is almost greater than the fitness side of what we do. And we are a 24-hour fitness studio, but there's this huge wellness component. So if you're walking around, let's say we have a physical issue. We have chronic joint pain related to overuse. So what infrared does is the first thing it's going to do is going to heat you really well. And anytime you heat the body, you get a release of inflammation, so to speak. We're increasing circulation. So when you increase circulation, it helps to decrease inflammation. The other thing with the infrared is because it does have an endorphin release that's positive, it also helps your brain to better deal with the pain that you're experiencing. And then you have this comforting heat, so you just get an overall sense of well-being. The other piece of it is it kind of calms you, and so anytime you calm something, you're going to bring the stress down, whether it's a physical stress or an emotional stress or a combination of the two. It's going to help bring that down as well. So it's a very focusing type of effect that helps you now kind of redirect your pain, your thought process. So it's certainly not, get rid of all your meds and you only need this. Right. That's not what we're saying. But it's a really nice addition to whatever you're doing. And it could be that at some point in time, it does allow you to reduce some of those over-the-counter or prescription items that you are using to help you manage that.
Okay, very cool.
Well, and we can just get real. I joined because of that. I have...
What do you have, Camille? Tell us your issues.
Well, I have issues. We don't have enough time for all my issues, but a few of the ones are the ones that really encouraged me to join this. Is I have lupus, Sjogren's disease, arthritis, those kinds of things, and really medication, pharmaceuticals have been unsuccessful. Right. So I just kind of gave up. Then you came along, and I was like, oh. And so because if you know me, you've never heard me say I can't wait to join a gym. Ever. No one said that ever about me. And so I've been so excited to have this as an option. So I'm really excited. So if you would like to use any of those issues, now they're all out there. So
sweet.
Well, the few of them. Not enough time. But I think, inflammation and joint pain and those kinds of things are very very uncomfortable, and it does get your focus off and that kind of thing. So I'm just looking forward to going and getting hot. Wait, that sounded bad. I'm not dying to work out, but I feel like it's going to lead to...
You brought Taylor out of the woodwork.
Because he just discovered I had issues?
Because you're going to go get hot.
Well, I'm going to go get hot.
Yeah, we can't wait to make you hot.
I can't wait either.
So excited
You
about
heard it
this.
here. Okay, I will be hot.
And there goes
This is
our
my year.
ratings.
Okay.
There goes.
Yeah, womp womp.
Just lost all listeners.
No, but I'm looking forward to that because it sounds like a very practical, reasonable direction to go with those things.
Right. And so we do kind of joke about we can't wait to make you hot. I mean, we're Hotworx.
Right.
So you can't get away from using the word hot.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of times I want to say, don't hate us because we're hot.
Yeah.
Because that's the first
what we'll be
people say is,
saying.
I hate being hot. I don't like being hot. And I get it. I don't particularly embrace, 108 in August either,
Right.
but it's a different kind of hot. And so what Camille's talking about, those issues related to inflammation, and all of those are inflammation-related diseases or conditions. And so when you can reduce the overall inflammation in the body, while you may not be curing the diagnosis, so to speak, you are helping that infinitely. And then you're going to add the fact that you're also actively detoxing anything that your body's been storing that's not beneficial to you. That's only going to help your system deal with whatever it needs to deal with on a more efficient basis. Now, that's awesome. But who has, an hour and a half to dedicate to that every single day? We're a 30-minute workout.
Yeah.
So that part's really amazing too, is you're getting all of this amazing wellness benefit and the gift of time and getting a good solid workout in as well. And the thing is it's not just one workout. It's not just yoga. It's not just Pilates.
Right.
We actually have 10 different things to choose from. So you've got a variety there. So you've got consistency with some variety. Your consistency is those workouts are in fact the same every time you do them for a set period of time. But you've got variety within the consistency that all work together so that your mind is challenged as well as your body being challenged, and we're pushing all of these additional toxins out. So there are all kinds of studies on just infrared, not working out in an infrared sauna, but just using an infrared sauna, where it significantly decreases inflammation and it significantly decreases your toxicity. And we don't really think about it, but we walk around exposed to things all the time.
Yeah, 'cause
and our
everything causes
body,
cancer now.
our body stores that. And so there are studies that show that if you start an infrared workout, and when I say workout, I mean just being in the sauna, but if you start an infrared workout here, 4 months later, your toxicity levels have decreased anywhere from 24 to 28%. That's just sitting in the sauna. So think about a sponge. So if you hold a sponge, it will drip, a slow drip. If you squeeze it, it will let go of more. And if you wring it, it'll really let go of stuff. So that's where the fitness component of the Hotworx and the detox comes in. And we use those ISO movements. So anytime you twist a body, you're compressing organs. It's kind of like squeezing a sponge. You're pushing more out.
Okay, now say ISO. What does that stand for?
ISO is simply, it's isometric. And that means that we're using workouts that don't have additional weight or impact associated with them. So you are only using your body weight for that workout.
Okay. Sorry, that was for me.
No,
because
that's a perfect question.
No, I agree.
Like I said last week, it made me think of In Search Of, and I am. I mean, that works too. I'm in search of.
What are you
In
in
search
search
of.
of when you come into this?
Well, apparently I'm going to get hot. I can't wait for that.
Infrared sauna.
That was something I was not thinking of, but I'm so much more motivated than I was 30 minutes ago.
So,
there
and
you
you're
go.
going to be so excited to be described as, oh, this is my sweat buddy. So we love sweat buddies because at the end of the day, that's really what being in an infrared sauna is about, is the sweat.
Well, and you are creating a sense of community.
Yes.
I'm already seeing that. I mean, because I have a few friends that have joined along, and
Well, and with that comes accountability, and I mean, there's a lot of things that I'll be honest. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were like, "Hey, we need to get you a jacket," and I was like, "That's awesome! Like, I want to have a jacket." I mean, I'm not like super invested in like I like what they're doing, but it's not like my thing that I'm like super interested in. But I want to be a part of the group. I want a jacket, you know.
not
So it's
for
like
me,
you
a
want to be a part
jacket.
of something, you know. People like community.
yeah, they
Right.
do.
They do.
That's why we came here. Burleson is a community. Burleson has
Yeah.
an identity as a community. We wanted to be somewhere in a community where we really could interact with the community, see the community on a daily basis, grow with the community in a lot of different ways. We have two girls, one's 20, one's 18. They're both athletes. Can't wait to sponsor those girls' athletic teams. You know, so Burleson offered a lot for us. It's a little bit of a drive for me. I enjoy that drive. It gives me some downtime on the way.
You can listen to
back
podcasts.
home. I can listen to my podcast on the way here.
I wonder if there's a
favorite
good
podcast?
podcast anywhere.
My favorite podcast used to be, but now is.
There you go.
That's
There
what
you
I'm
go.
talking about.
Yes, absolutely. So it's one of those things where I derive energy from helping and lifting up others. And so this is a really exciting opportunity for me. I know what it's done for me as a person. If you talk to any of my friends in my area, they're like, oh my gosh, she's going to tell you to go work out at Hotworx. I say that because I know what it does for people. And it's one of those things I think I've shared with y'all. My favorite referral is the lady that I was in the Pilates sauna with one day, and she said, I hate this workout. And I was all ears. And I'm like, why? Why do you hate this workout? She goes, there's nothing about it that really appeals to me. And the first time I did it, I swore I would never come back. And I was back 2 days later, and I keep coming back because I feel so good. And I have a girlfriend that just joined, and she said the same thing. She goes, I'm the lady that doesn't really love it, but I keep going back. And I'm like, but that's such an amazing testimony that it really isn't the thing that you wake up in the morning and go, ooh, ooh, I get to do this today.
Yeah.
But you go because you know what you feel like afterwards.
Right.
That's really important. I mean, it's really giving you a palatable feeling that makes you go back, even though it's not something you super love.
Sure. Yeah.
I love that. So I think you mentioned something that I think would probably be interesting. So we've all obviously been here a long time. As someone from another town, that's got to be pretty scary coming in not knowing anyone.
It's kind of fun.
Is it fun?
It's kind of fun. I'm an Army brat. I lived all over the world, so I'm kind of used to being the new kid. It's a lot of fun to learn a new area. It's a lot of fun to meet new people, and Burleson's been amazing. It's a very open and inviting community. That part's been a lot of fun. I mean, we did our homework before we came, so we knew it wasn't everybody's lived here for 50 years and they really don't want anybody else to come in. It is a growing community, but it still has that really neat sense of town and an identity that as an Army brat, I got, but I didn't get, so to speak. So you have this sense of identity and that y'all all kind of collectively are a band of gypsies that you kind of,
We've certainly been called worse.
connect in and out, and then you're gone and you do something else. Where here, it's really neat how y'all have kind of kept what Burleson is and has been and allowed for the growth to come in as well. And you've found this really neat balance. And like watching the mayor do the state of the city the other day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that, nobody thinks about that. You hear Burleson and you think, I will say this again, I hear Burleson and I think RVs, because I went to North Texas and I lived in San Antonio, and so that was kind of a landmark, so to speak.
Right.
Oh, there are all the RV centers. I'm kind of almost to school again. So,
Which
and they're
is
still here.
almost more Alvarado than Burleson.
It is, but but you see the Burleson sign, and so you see and that's what connects. And so it's kind of funny that decades later, I'm
Here you
in
are.
Burleson.
Just can't stay away. Yep. Okay, so we've got a couple of questions before we go on to something you mentioned about the 4 buckets or whatever. So we're going to get to the business stuff here in just a second, I promise. Okay, so someone said, what are the details? Is it a membership? So very briefly, tell us what that means.
It's a month-to-month membership. There's no contract. So you basically have a draft that we do every month. If at some point in time it's no longer something that really works for you, then you give us a cancellation notice and you walk away from it.
Okay. Cool. And y'all have some specials going on right now.
We have pre-sale specials that go on right now. They're done in phases.
Okay.
And so I'm very hesitant to say, oh, it's this, because when that sells out, then we go to this. So what it is
reach out to you and see where you're at.
Reach out to me.
Okay, perfect. And what's the best way to get into contact with you right now if someone's listening?
817-343-8425.
Okay.
That's the business number right now. 817-343-8425.
Okay. If people are listening, I want to make sure they get that. Okay.
I know, I'm quick sometimes.
And then Hotworx Burleson on Facebook as well.
On Facebook.
Okay. Perfect.
You can go to hotworx.net Burleson and it'll guide you to our page as well.
Right. Okay, cool. And then is that what opened up by Chicken Salad Chick?
It is.
So yes, technically not open yet, but that's where you're going to be.
That's where we'll be.
Sweet. Okay.
And you will be here doing pre-sales on bad weather days.
On bad weather days like tomorrow when it's really wet, we will be at our home away from home, which is the hub.
Awesome.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. So real quick before we transition to the business thing, we always announce a sponsor. And, of course, the Hub's been sponsoring this show for the last couple times. So the Hub is Shared Workspace.
Yes.
Tell us, you've been working on, I am literally putting you out there in that. You've been working on a mission statement.
Yes.
And we really believe in mission statements here at Cultivate. We really believe in really understanding where we're going and how we're going to get there and who we're going to take with us.
We do.
So what are you coming up with so far?
Oh man, you did put me on the spot. Well, and plus I just spilled something on my shirt, so I'm I'm kind of uncomfortable about that. But
it's okay.
So yeah, it's been a challenge because we're at capacity physically, and so we're really trying to develop the people within the community. And that doesn't necessarily mean someone who has a space here, someone like Michelle, anyone we can embrace within the community to create their own community.
Right.
So we're developing the people by providing
Connections.
We
talked about connections.
We
talked about resources.
Resources.
Right.
Yes, we're doing. We do group coaching on a regular basis. of course, it's the new year. I didn't say it today, but welcome to 2020.
This is the last time you can do that. We'll
You're
be in February next.
We're done.
And we're done. Yeah, I just got cropped out again. I mean, edited out, whatever, cropped. Yeah. So I will be very excited to release that mission statement. So we also have a new website coming out, which I hope will help really kind of define those things. And we want to be able to be what people need. And sometimes we don't know what they need until they tell us. So we really try to kind of roll with the punches. And when we're presented with something that we just haven't seen before, we do our best to try to accommodate and facilitate that.
Absolutely. So I mean, and we narrow it down like this, and this is something that we'll talk about in a second. The whole idea of figuring out a problem that the person has, figuring out and essentially making the problem worse, right? You have to identify it and make it a little bit worse, and then you've got to offer your solution to it and where you are going to take them. Right. Mm-hmm. And so if you're new in town, or if you're opening a new business, if you're struggling to get the resources you need, whatever, come see the hub.
We want to help you find those.
We'll point you where you want to go, or we'll point you to the direction that you need to go, the resources you need, help you go where you need to go.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So developing yes.
So we're working on the words. That's okay. This is kind of a test.
You want me to use my words?
Yeah. No, you're good.
Such
you're good.
Challenge.
Connection, I think, is really important. I think community is important. I mean, all these things, right? That's why people listen to shows. Why people watch the show. That's why people come in here. So.
Oh, I thought it was because I was on it.
Oh well,
that's the number one point. But
Taylor's part of the community.
Taylor is part of the community.
Taylor's awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
Anyways, yeah.
Anyways.
Okay, so the whole thing that we always operate of is these 4 buckets, right? The pies. Okay, so physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual. You hit on all of those, and so for a business owner, let's get in the business owner mindset here. Good grief, can't talk. How can they think of the infrared sauna? How does that help me in my business?
So we'll start with the physical.
Sure.
It helps you in your business because you have to feed yourself to be able to feed others.
Right.
And there are different ways to do that, but one way is through movement and exercise and fitness and wellness. So that kind of keeps you at a level that you're able to function for yourself and for those around you. So that's the obvious. We're the physical bucket.
Invest in yourself to invest in others.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a lot like the airplane analogy when they always tell you, should you have to put on a mask, please put the mask on yourself first and then put that on the person next to you. Because if you don't have the oxygen you need, you're not going to be able to help those around you. So it's the same thing with the physical aspect. So the great thing about the Hotworx concept is it's condensed, because you're going into an infrared sauna at 120 to 125 degrees. You don't need 15 minutes to warm up. You need 2. So you get to the meat of your workout very, very quickly. So we can do it in 30 minutes. Gotcha. We can also do it in 15 minutes if you want to do one of our HIIT sessions, or you can blend all of that together. It's whatever you need. We're 24/7. So you have a crazy schedule. You need to get in at 4:30 in the morning. It's the only time you have available. We're there for you. We can get you in and get you heated up and ready for your day.
Which means I'm thinking, okay, automatically security, right? So you have security,
we
obviously.
Have security.
You have cameras.
We have cameras.
This operates off of a TV, so it's not like an instructor's meeting you there, right?
Right.
So these are all things that I think somebody's going to be thinking, like, how am I going to do it? Do I have to do this on my own? Do I have to go sit there? Like, what do I do?
We're virtual.
It's an app, right?
We're virtual.
I mean, you can schedule on your app. You can.
Right. So we have 2 apps. We have the app that lets you in and the app that lets you schedule. So it's a security app that lets you in. The door is always locked. Even during our staff hours, the door is locked. You're accessing the studio by your membership.
Right.
And if we are anticipating a guest coming in, then obviously we're going to let that guest in.
Right.
And we get lots of walk-ins too. So when we're staffed, we will be letting people in the building. But you are the only person that can let yourself in, and it closes behind you. So it is safe. We have cameras throughout the studio. We do not have cameras in the sauna. So you are private in the sauna.
So no one will see my struggle.
Right.
There you go.
Right. Nobody's going to see you struggle. No more than 3 people in the sauna at any one time. So even if, the studio is full, you still have a very solid sense of privacy, so to speak. So I think that's a very encouraging thing for a lot of people that aren't necessarily comfortable in a big group format. Yeah. But it also gives you that camaraderie and that little bit of positive peer pressure of, let's keep let's hold that for one more second than what I wanted to, type of thing. And then we have pendants as well. So it's the emergency pendant. So if you come in and you're by yourself, you can take that into the sauna with you just for that sense of security. So if you're not feeling well, or you're like, what was that? That sounded weird. Press that pendant and police and fire will respond.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Right.
That's cool.
I'll have to be very careful with that because if I fall down, just trying to
Oh, I fell right on
fall
this.
and I can't get up.
I can't get
Hello, firefighters.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Hey, there you go. Well, when I get hot, maybe I will fall down. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
can I share something really fast though?
Yes.
One of our big goals is
Please.
in the next 2 years. A goal of my husband Dana and I's is to actually purchase an infrared sauna to donate to Burleson Fire specifically for their exclusive use in the fire station after they have been out and actively fighting fires. There are lots of toxins associated with fighting
Sure.
fires, and it stays on their skin and in their hair. So I've been told, I haven't ever personally fought a fire, but they do say that it does stay there. And if they can sit in the sauna for about 30 minutes, that there is a significant decrease in those
Wow.
smells and feels. And so that is a big goal of ours. Hotworx, as a corporate, does donate saunas, but Dana and Michelle Coling think we can do this for the city of Burleson.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's a very important piece to it. Like a
super
lot of
cool.
things we've been discussing
Yeah.
during this past year is, well, how can we have a positive social impact on our
Right.
community?
Yeah.
And that would be that's a beautiful concept.
So that's another piece of feeding others, so to speak. So as a business owner, you want to feed those around you as well as yourself. So the other thing is when you're in there and physically doing something, it puts you in a better mindset, both intellectually and emotionally. So when you feed the body, you feed the mind. When you feed the mind and the body, you feed the soul. So it all really is interconnected.
Right.
And you can't be at your best in any of them if you are deficient in other areas.
Yes.
So it really is
Exactly.
a balance. Obviously, from a spiritual standpoint, heat focuses me. Now, that may not be the case for everyone, but for me, heat is a great focuser. And so when I go in and it calms my mind, it allows me to go to those places that require a quiet mind and a more intense thought process. So while I may be actively working out from a spiritual standpoint, I'm also really filling up that well as well, because all those things that kind of get in the way and clutter those thought processes kind of fall away, and it allows you to kind of focus down to those more intense thoughts that kind of bring those aha moments to the
Right.
surface. So again, as a business owner, you know, sometimes you just need to get away from it all to be able to find that clear perspective again. And for me, and hopefully for a lot of people, it's walking into that sauna and closing that door and kind of letting all the outside noise literally fall away and just kind of going inward and, you know, working up a really great sweat and a lot of creative thoughts and uplifting thoughts as well.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Then you increase circulation, which means that your brain is thinking a little bit better. So lots of aha moments in the sauna in between the, you know, wiping away.
Your face right now is killing me.
Thinking.
I mean, not killing me in a bad way. Like,
Jeez. God.
oh.
Ridiculous.
Wow.
No,
Camille.
I mean, I love it when but creativity is something that, like, now I'm like, I better not go because my mind already has too many ideas that I haven't gotten out of my head yet. But
Well, this will help you sort through to find the best one.
maybe I'll know my mission statement after I go in there.
There you
Okay,
go.
I can say you may not have the words for your mission statement, but you've got the actions down.
Oh yeah, she does.
We
Aw,
have been the
bless you.
benefit of that for sure.
Oh, well,
So
thank you. Thank you.
100%.
That makes me happy. Yeah, thank you very
Me
much. Aw, this is awesome. Oh. Okay, so
Well, if she hadn't bought a membership already, she just did.
how many can I buy?
You only need one.
One for you and you and you.
Camille's giving out free memberships to
Do
Hotworx.
not say that.
Hey,
I do
comment
not-
your name and your phone number and your social
No,
security
no.
number, and
awesome.
you'll get a free membership to Hotworx. Crazy.
Taylor,
Oh my
I'm fixing to
gosh.
learn how to edit you out.
Courtesy of Taylor.
Of Camille.
Okay, well, let's.
But if we
let's
have their
talk-
social, we can just sell it.
Okay, I don't have any money. So let's talk about the community piece again, because we have a great community, and especially in the health and wellness, or however you want to say that. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm not really a part of that community. But there's always
Getting
hope.
there.
So we've got some great CrossFit studios. We've got great gyms. We've got people that are really, really passionate about what they're doing. And we talked, or you and I and Jared have talked many times about how that complements the what we already have here. So I don't know if you want to speak to that, but it's kind of like not an if or not a this or that. It's more of a this and that
right
concept, how Hotworx can do.
So we are really a complement to all forms of working out and fitness. We really don't see ourselves as a competitor to anyone, because what we offer is very different than what the traditional fitness studio or gym or workout is doing, because we have that infrared piece. And so while we may do a yoga, we're still not really competing with a yoga studio, because how we're doing it is complementary to what that studio is doing from a CrossFit standpoint, from a Camp Gladiator standpoint, from, if you're working out with a trainer in a group fitness format. We complement all of those things because we're offering something for exercise recovery. So you've hit it really hard on your WOD today and your legs are shaking. If you come to Hotworx, what you're going to find is you're going to push a lot of that lactic acid out that you built up that creates that hurt, so to speak. And you're going to help those muscles recover so that when you go in for your workout the next day, you're better, faster, stronger, more recovered than you were had you not done the infrared. So there's a complement to us. The other thing is that our price point is such, even at our full price, which would be $59 a month for unlimited access, we hopefully are reasonable enough that it's not, well, I can do this or I can do this. You can actually find a way to do both, because that's where you're going to see really, really big fitness gains. The really neat thing about Hotworx is you can take somebody that's super fit and you can take somebody that's not even hardly mobile and bring them into the sauna and give them a really good workout for their fitness level where they're going to see results. So the super fit are going to see results in that when you work out at 100 and 125 degrees, that creates a level of endurance and intensity that when you go back out into a more normal temperature, you see the results of having worked out at that higher temperature level. Plus the fact that you've given your muscles a chance to truly recover and you've decreased inflammation. So your opportunity for injury goes down, your opportunity to recover from existing injuries goes up. So there's a really big benefit to the super fit coming in and doing that. Then there are those that would love to be fit, but they've really never had the ability to do that. And they may never have a workout that looks like that super fit person, but just going into the infrared sauna and getting some movement in is going to have a huge benefit to their day-to-day, even if it's just to their activities of daily living. And let's face it, if our activities of daily living aren't working, then we really aren't living in the manner that we deserve to live.
Nice.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with that. And I think that there's a lot to be said about the, you mentioned, business owner, if they're operating out of 100% of each of these 4 buckets, right? And that's like the goal is 100%. Then they're going to have more energy. They're going to be able to invest in others. They're going to be able to do all of the things that they want to do. They're going to have all the ideas and be able to focus on, them, because it gives you the focus, right? You can't do everything. There's all kinds of things that I think that what you're saying really does apply to the business owner that's really just, trying to figure out how they balance things. And that was our first podcast episode, right? Is these 4 buckets for the balance for success, right? Because I think it's so important to have to be, working on all the 4, then you're never going to have them all at 100%, right? You're always going to be like, oh, I'm 50% on this one and 90% on this one, or whatever. But
that's more than 100%.
You're 100% all of them?
No, that's more. 50 and 90.
Yeah. So, you're never going to have them all there, but to understand that, the more you're working on all of them at the same time and doing something like this to feed into all those is really important.
Just being aware of those things too,
absolutely.
And knowing that you need that balance. Balance is a constant struggle for me.
Sure.
And as things change, that changes. So I'm excited about that. Alex Phillips, Mr. Burleson,
Mr.
Burleson just mentioned Be Healthy 5K, 10K is coming up. So I think that is directed at you. Clearly, not
yes,
me.
we are actively on every website we can find right now, looking for those things that we can come in. We are runners answer to a really sore prayer, so to speak.
you go.
I was a former distance runner myself. My IT bands have stayed chronically inflamed for years and years. My IT bands have not felt this good in a literal decade.
I don't know what an IT
truly.
band is.
So an IT band
That's
is that little
information
band that
technology
runs
to me,
down
so.
the side of your leg that if you touch it and it feels really sore, you are like, oh, that's my IT band. It kind of keeps things in place, but it inflames and it's really hard to work out. And that infrared, it penetrates the skin and it goes to the muscle. And when that happens, amazing things happen in the body at a cellular level, at a muscular level. At a physical level, we just really kind of bring an overall sense of benefit. So we're on it.
Okay.
Awesome.
She's on it.
She's on it.
She's on
We're
it.
on it.
You're welcome,
All right,
Alex.
we are going to wrap up. It's been a great conversation. I think that
Man, time flies when you're having fun.
It does. It does. I feel like there's so much information here for someone that, get awesomer. Someone that wants to get awesomer, because that's what we do here. We help people get awesome.
We want you to be the awesomest you can be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't
So
forget
I mean,
to
we
be
think there's a
awesome.
lot of people that are awesome. So we're just trying to
Get awesome. Yeah,
awesomer.
they're already there, so we
I
had
love
to come
it.
up with the
That's
next
where we're
level.
at. So, I think that this is a lot of great information for that. If you are local to Burleson, or if you're in an area that, if you're listening, to this online somewhere, maybe you're not anywhere near Burleson, but find a Hotworx. Find
a Hotworx.
something that you can do this to invest in yourself, so your business gets stronger, so that you get stronger. So, I mean, that's the whole goal of Cultivate, is to help you grow
Be
your business
better and do better.
get awesomer.
Yeah.
Alex
get
Phillips
awesomer.
says there needs to be a video of the Cultivate team partaking in Hotworx.
No, you didn't.
I would disagree.
I love it. I think that it's the first three. The Three Musketeers in
Oh
the
my
sauna.
gosh.
I think that's the original, the
I'm game.
OG.
Well,
I'm game.
can we wear leg warmers and can they wear leg warmers?
What?
Can they? Yes.
What?
Will they?
I mean,
see.
I'm
trying to kill
willing
us?
to take one for the team. So that means you guys are wearing leg warmers and
So
pink
wait.
leotards.
But let's remember it's infrared, and so the
Oh, yeah, we gotta
more skin that is exposed to the infrared, the greater the benefit of the infrared.
I'm wearing a Speedo.
So that would what's his name? The Bob Ross guy that's not a painter. Richard Simmons.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, the Bob Ross guy that's not a painter? What?
It's
I see it. I see it. I'm with
okay.
you. I'm with you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
Yeah. So that'd probably be a really great outfit for
Yes,
that. So
absolutely.
I think if we get the guys
a little
that,
sparkle, we need a sparkle with our glisten. Yes,
Yes,
I like it. I
yes.
like it a lot.
What are they doing to
Yes,
us?
we got
Tastefully, guys, tastefully. I
Wait a
promise.
minute.
Hey.
We do the video stuff.
Remember, we're
So
about the balance.
we've got to have people that are like that we're videoing.
So I think that we'll put it on the timer thing where
So,
it can do its
I
own
have an idea.
thing,
Phillips
and
wants
then
to
we'll
join
watch.
us.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's get the city guys in there.
Oh, let's
Alex,
do it.
Drew, yeah.
Colin.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
Yeah, Colin.
Hey.
And we'll shoot the video for you guys.
So when the saunas come in, we can't just open up. They have to be tested first. So we may
So
have
I
our
guess
first
we
test
just became-
subject.
Wait,
lab
but what if
rats.
the test goes wrong? What happens?
You'll look so cute
It
doing
won't.
it,
I
so
like
it
the
won't matter.
If the test goes wrong, you just haven't sweat to your full capacity yet.
Okay, as long as
Oh
it's not the
my
opposite.
gosh, this is going to be great, Alex.
It's going to be
we're
amazing.
Signing you up for this too, Alex. You have to join us. I say if Alex commits, we all have to commit. I'm gonna have to
Commit
start
to be
training.
fit.
I'm happy to try it. I'm
Commit to
absolutely
be
happy
fit.
to try it.
Commit to be
absolutely.
fit.
The whole, Bob Ross Simmons guy thing. No, not doing the.
I think you just combined 5 names.
The outfit is perfect for its utmost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you do that. You be.
I can't be
be
Bob Ross or
Camille-
we could
Simmons.
launch
Ew.
Cultivate workout wear.
Oh yes. Okay. Gosh, see, and you're not even in the gym yet. Can you imagine your creativity when you get in there?
I mean, it's basically just a Speedo, but
I'm not wearing a Speedo,
I'm not putting the.
but I will
It'll
wear.
be a low production cost.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Alex says he's going to hold the camera. I don't know, Alex. You're such a team
There's
player. I
something
can't
here.
imagine you on the sidelines.
There's something here. Mm-hmm. No, we'll figure out something.
yes, we
See
will.
what we get ourselves into when we have these conversations with people.
It's
get
all
ourselves into
good.
things.
It's all good. I promise.
Well, and I think it'd be important to say too that although we love you being here, until your construction is complete, you can be found at your place or at our place.
Yes.
Where the flag is where we are. So
Follow
there's
the
a
flag.
Hotworx flag, and if it's outside of the studio,
Yes.
we're in front of the studio. If it's outside of the hub, we're at the hub. So it's one of those things where we can dress to be warm on a cold day, but we don't want you shivering while you're signing up. So if it's
true.
below 50, we're probably at the hub, and we post on Facebook and Instagram every day where we're going to be. And again, if you have any of our brochure information that has that phone number, 817-343-8425, that comes directly to me. You are welcome to text and say, hey, where you at?
That's right. What's up?
Sweet. Okay. If you're listening on any of the podcast networks, we'd appreciate a share. If you're watching on Facebook, we would appreciate a share there as well. If you want to listen to other podcast episodes of this Cultivate podcast, we have those. Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you can listen to your podcast, you can find them. If you do want to watch video, facebook.com/cultivatehub is where you can find that. Be sure to like that page. And yeah. What are you laughing at?
Mondays are just so awesome.
They are awesome.
I mean, it's just going to keep getting awesomer.
It is.
Yeah.
100% is. So be sure to subscribe. Be sure to check out Hotworx. And definitely, I guess, be on the lookout for some sort of Cultivate Hotworx promo
I hate
thing.
you all. Not really.
It's gonna be awesome.
I just can't wait to go get my
We do need to do it.
outfit.
Yes. All right, Taylor, take us out of here.
I don't remember what I'm supposed to say, but see you next time. Bye.